Hello, welcome to
Papi Approved Movies.
My name is Papi.
And I'm Natalie.
In our podcast, we'll review and critique my favorite PG-13 movies.
Movies that I wasn't allowed to watch until I turned 13.
Every other week, Natalie and I will watch a new PG-13 movie.
And I'll see if Papi's movies live up to the hype.
Which, of course, they will.
Today we're going to be watching The Bourne Identity.
Before we begin, there will be spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie and don't want it to be spoiled,
Press pause and come back when you're finished. Now, Papi, tell me the deets on this movie.
Hello, Natalie.
Bonjour.
How are you?
Good.
That is good to hear. I thought you were like, meow. Wait. That's all you know. That's all I know, I guess. That's not true. I'm fluent in French, just so you know. You ready to talk about this amazing movie?
Uh-huh.
Part 1 of like 4. I think there's like 3 or 4 sequels that come out for this movie.
For this movie?
Yeah. Like the Bourne Ultimatum, the Bourne Supremacy. There's like a bunch of them. The Bourne Identity came out in 2002 with a runtime of 1 hour and 59 minutes. It's not streaming anywhere yet. They're right on Amazon. Still waiting on that Amazon sponsorship. Nothing yet. Did you check the email?
I don't think we ever emailed them.
Oh, gosh. We figured they were listening to the pod the whole time. It was written by Tony Gilroy, William Blake Herron, and based on the novel by Robert Ludlum. It was directed by Doug Liman. Main stars are Franca Potente, Matt Damon, and Chris Cooper. This movie is based on a book that had a TV series adaptation in the 80s. You know who told me that? Coach Rosa did. Shout out to Coach Rosa. I didn't know. Richard Chamberlain's in it. I didn't know that there was a TV series. I'm going to have to watch it. It looks interesting. What did you think of the movie?
It was alright.
All right. Tell me more or less, I guess.
I don't really know. It was a little confusing.
Yeah. Did we watch it all at one time?
No.
You fell asleep.
Yes.
You fell asleep in the middle of the movie. We had to restart it a couple days later. And then you were able to finish it. So a little too much for you, I guess. What do you rate it?
3.5 stars.
Hey, for a movie you fell asleep on, 3.5 stars, not too bad. You were just really tired that day, probably. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it wasn't too overly complicated. I think later on the movies become a little more complicated. And I thought the actor was good. Matt Damon. I thought he was good as in he's pretty good at karate, but like he seemed like an innocent person. Like he didn't know better. And then the female actor, Franca Potente, I thought she was pretty good too. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Why don't we get into the recap?
All right. The movie begins with some fishermen on a boat finding an unconscious man floating in the sea. He's brought aboard and the ship's captain, Giancarlo, tends to him. He finds 2 bullets in his back and a little canister in his hip. He removes the bullets and the canister. The canister is a little flashlight that shows a bank address and an account number when turned on. You know, I always think like, can you just put something like that in your body? Wouldn't that like your body reject it?
Yeah. But then that's why I think about the same things about piercings. Like, how come that most piercings aren't rejected? I mean, they do get rejected often, like eyebrow piercings and lip piercings.
Well, even people get ear infections and things like that.
Yeah, but like, for the most part, a lot of them, like, the body's like, okay, guess you're just a part of me now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they use a special kind of metal, a titanium or something that you can use and keep inside your body.
Well, people get implants. Like, they got, like, leg implant, hip implant, some things, like, stuff with titanium.
Yeah,
for their body.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. Yeah. The stranger wakes up very aggressive and has lost his memory. He gets better and starts pulling his weight on the ship. He's frustrated. He doesn't know or remember who he is. Meanwhile, at CIA headquarters, Agent Conklin is informed that the mission to kill an African politician named Wombosi is a failure. Giancarlo lands and gives the stranger money to get to the bank that he saw from the flashlight. Before he gets there, he tries to sleep on a park bench and the police ask him for ID. When he doesn't have it, they get aggressive and he defends himself. He's shocked by how strong and proficient he is at hand-to-hand combat. Do you like that? He just started doing all those moves out of nowhere. He didn't know what he was doing.
It was height.
Because I'm really good at those moves too. Like I can do all that hand-to-hand combat and flip people around and judo and all that. And so, but I already know I can do all that.
Sure.
Why beat you up all the time?
No.
Wombosi goes on TV accusing the CIA of trying to assassinate him. He says he knows all their dirty secrets. Rat them out if he's not put in power of his country. At the CIA, Conklin's boss, Abbott, is asked if he was one in charge of the assassination attempt, and he denies it. Then he goes to see Conklin and asks him. He's pretty vague about it, but he does say that it'll all be settled soon. The stranger gets to the bank and is taken to a safety deposit box. He finds out his name is Jason Bourne from his passport. He looks deeper in the box and finds a gun, more passports, and currency from all over the world. He takes everything except the gun and bounces. He also finds an address in Paris and decides to go there next. What would you do if you found all that money and all those passports?
I would take it all. And I feel like I'd...
The gun too?
Yeah, because if I had all these passports and all this stuff, I'd probably assume that I need a gun to protect myself.
True.
You'd assume that about yourself.
Yeah, you're not just some regular dude.
Yeah, clearly there's something going on.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'd take the gun, but I don't even know how to use it, but he does. Obviously, he'll be able to figure it out. But
well, because he still knows how to do everything that he used to know.
Right, without knowing why. He just does know. As he leaves, he begins to get followed. He hides in an American embassy. There he sees a woman, Marie, arguing with a lady at the window. Then soldiers begin to come after him. He fights his way through them, climbs down the side of the building. On the street, he spots Marie and asks her to take him to Paris for $20,000.
He climbs down the building like Link.
Like Link from Legend of Zelda? I was thinking Spider-Man.
No, he's like, I was wondering if his stamina would run out.
I imagine it did. No, he unlimited stamina for Jason Bourne. Anyway, she agrees to take him for $20,000. Talk about a crazy person. That dude is being chased by soldiers in the embassy. And then he's like, can you take me somewhere? I'll give you $20,000. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. Would you do it?
Not unless I was like a drug addict.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Maybe she's so troubled that this kind of money will save her life. But
yeah.
But would you trust that dude wouldn't just take your car, kill you, and then be done with it?
I wouldn't put anyone in my car.
Good point. And that's good information as you are soon to get your license in a couple of months or whatever. Conklin is behind everyone following Bourne. We also find out that it was Bourne who botched the Wombosi assassination. Meanwhile, Nikki, a CIA agent, gets a picture of Bourne talking to Marie. Conklin activates his 3 remaining assassins to catch and kill Bourne. One is from Italy, the other from Germany, and the last one's from Spain. You like that they were all from different countries?
Yeah, but I don't understand why there was only 3 of them.
Maybe that's what the program was, just 4 assassins, that's it. Bourne being the 4th one. Also, they didn't match the country they were from. So Bourne is not French. He's the Paris assassin, right? And I think the Spanish guy, he's British. I mean, the actor's British. So they just are centered in different areas, but they don't necessarily belong to that culture.
Well, Bourne has 1 million passports. I thought Bourne was German.
No, he's definitely American, right? You don't think he's American? He speaks English like an American.
Oh, yeah. I thought about that because it didn't make sense because in both Paris and in Germany, like someone would speak to him in German and then he immediately respond in English, even though he knows German.
Yeah, it seems like he knows many languages.
Then why wouldn't he just respond in the language he's being spoken to?
There was someone he talked to in French. The lady who recognized him when he went back to his apartment, they speak French to each other, but he's American.
Yeah.
He has to be. I mean, are they all American because they're from the CIA? I guess they all have to be American. Yeah, they're probably all American because it's an American organization. Although they can hire out, I guess. I don't know. Bourne and Marie begin driving and Bourne opens up and tells her his entire story. She's a little dubious. Meanwhile, Conklin gets a skinny on Marie, her plates, friends, and family, and then her last known addresses. He puts out an APB on them both. Marie and Bourne get to the Paris address he found in the safety deposit box. They go in and he looks at everything and cannot find any clues. He presses redial on the phone and the last call was to a hotel. He asks for information on John Michael Caine, one of his aliases, and he's told that he's dead. Then he's attacked by the Italian assassin. They fight and eventually Bourne wins and leaves before the police come.
I think it's funny that they have punching sound effects.
Yeah. It almost took me out of the movie.
It was really strange.
Yeah. Back in the day when sound effects were a lot worse than they are now, or it was very distracting. We both mentioned it during the movie where we were watching it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's like Batman, like that Batman movie.
Yeah, and so you would think if they ever remastered it, they would take those sound effects out, but it's a little too cartoonish.
When was this movie made again?
2002?
Yeah, by this time there's no punching sound effects.
No, every movie has punching sound effects.
Well, not like this.
No, this one was a little too much. Yeah, I thought it was a little too silly. But in 2002, that's exactly how it always sounded.
I don't think so.
Well, let's watch another movie in 2002. You have a guy punch another guy and you'll see. It'll sound exactly the same.
I don't think so. I also thought it was weird how Marie just stood there.
And watched.
Yeah.
Didn't throw nothing at the guy.
First of all, didn't throw something at him. And second of all, I would run and hide.
Didn't run away.
This guy's a stranger to me. I don't care about him. I can find him later. He's clearly competent. I already know from past experience he's going to win probably. So I would have just sprinted.
And you already got 10K, right? Just leave. You already took your shower. Just get the heck out of Dodge. So that way you can go start your life and go away from this obvious troublemaker person. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, I don't know why she stood there and watched and didn't contribute anything. She just contributed standing there. Oh,
you say contribute a different way. You and your sister have been saying contribute for that word for a long time. Hey, it looks like you got it. That's what I like. Also, when the assassin is beaten, he just jumps out the window and kills himself. Well, what was that all about?
I don't understand.
Why didn't he come off the side of the building like Bourne did in the American Embassy? Why would you kill yourself?
Or just run out of the building.
Right. It didn't make any sense. Anyways, Bourne wins. Police come and they take off. Bourne tells Marie that she needs to go to the police. It's unsafe to be with him. She decides to stay with him and they leave together. As they go, a high-speed chase ensues. They escape and are both shocked at how good Bourne is at this. Why would you stay? Why would you stay?
Marie just wants herself to get killed, honestly.
Do you think, obviously they have chemistry, they make out and hook up later, but you think it's nah, I'm in love with this guy.
Not that. You met him 3 hours ago. You can't fall in love.
Maybe it was because they drove from one city to another.
He was asleep majority of the time.
Yeah. She was talking about that. I don't know. She talked a bunch and then she's like, I'm sorry I talked too much. He's like, no, I love it. So maybe it's oh, the perfect man. I could talk all day. He loves it. I'm happy. He's handsome.
ChatGPT will do the same.
Yeah, but you can't marry ChatGPT. Or can you? No, maybe you can now. Nikki tells Conklin that Bourne got away and the Italian assassin is dead. Then Momosi is killed by the Spanish assassin. Meanwhile, Bourne and Marie get to a hotel. She gets a haircut and die.
You couldn't, he couldn't have brushed through her hair before chopping. He grabbed her, the hair on her scalp and just went chop.
It wasn't even combed yet.
No, he didn't even put a brush through it. He just, yanked chunks off her head with a pair of scissors.
And then it looked beautiful afterwards.
The next scene, it was, perfect.
Yeah, it was, nicely combed. Anyway, they dye her hair. They start making out. And they hook up.
Why didn't they dye the hair after cutting it?
Save some ink, right?
Yeah, it would take less time too.
Great point. Excellent point. Maybe she could do that in the shower. Anyways, they make out and hook up. Inappropriate! That's all I've been wanting to say. You keep telling me great information. I don't know why you're doing that.
I'm just still caught up on this haircut.
You just got a haircut yesterday, so... Did your hairdresser just grab your head in chunks and just cut it off?
Not that I recall.
But it looks good. Yours is good too. You got the... Actually, oh my gosh. I think you got the same haircut as Marie. Oh my goodness. Did you do that on purpose? We just finished this movie. I think you do have her haircut right now.
I don't know. I don't remember her haircut.
Oh my goodness. I think you did it on purpose, or at least subconsciously. I had to look it up. I think you...
Subconsciously.
Yes. All right, Marie, are you ready? Natalie, I keep getting confused.
I thought my haircut looked more like Winona Ryder in that 80s movie where she's smoking.
Reality Bites?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. But I think your haircut looks pretty cute. So did Marie's, even though they chopped it all funny. They leave the next day to visit the hotel, the one that they called about. Then Marie gets all of Kane's files and phone records. Bourne goes through the hotel records and sees a number for Alliance Security. Bourne visits Alliance Security and it's recognized as Kane. They sell yachts there, and he notices that Wombosi bought his yacht there too. Bourne hears about Wombosi dying and reads his obituary. He finds out that before he was killed, there was a botched assassination attempt. The assassin got on his yacht and was shot twice in the back before he jumped into the sea. Bourne realizes that he's the assassin.
See, this is the same situation. He jumped into the sea.
What do you mean?
Because it's like the other guy jumped out the window when he failed.
But he was trying to get off the boat, otherwise he's going to get killed. I think he got shot. He might have fallen into the water. Like and just barely survived.
I don't understand why he jumped into the water.
To get away, everybody on the boat was shooting at him. What are you going to do when they're shooting at you?
Shoot back.
Yeah, he had a gun. He did have a gun. Yeah, good point. Anyway, so he realizes that he is the assassin. Marie asks Bourne if she can leave, and he tells her that he'll take her wherever she wants. She decides she wants to go stay at her friend Eamon's house. At CIA headquarters, Conklin begins to look at all of Marie's known addresses. They see that she once stayed at Eamon's house and send the Spanish assassin there. Marie and Bourne get to Eamon's house. Shortly after, Eamon and his kids show up. They have dinner and everything is fine. Bourne promises to leave the next day. And this is when you fell asleep, huh? Mm-hmm. And then I woke you up. I shook you and I said, wake up! We're finishing this movie, this podcast. We're on a deadline here. The next morning, Bourne is ready to go and hears the dog is missing. He knows there's an assassin there. He sends Eamon and his kids to the basement, and a game of cat and mouse begins.
I just want to know where the dog went.
He's dead.
But they couldn't find a body.
No, he took the body with him so that he couldn't see the dog. And the dog is going to make noise.
I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe the dog came out into the field to look for the guy. He's like, hey, what are you doing here?
They would have thought that the dog they would have heard the dog barking earlier.
It would have been in the middle of the night. Although Bourne didn't sleep. So you would think he would have heard it too.
Yeah.
Good point.
Because it's not like the person can just go hey, you're dead. I feel like dogs are more likely to see a human than a dog. They're probably going to bark before the person can kill them.
Depends. I mean, if he has a scope and he's looking from 100 miles out. Yeah, he could have killed the dog from super far away and then we never see the dog's body.
I guess so.
Could have been behind the barn or something. Anyways, Bourne gets the upper hand and before killing the Spanish assassin, asks him some questions. He finds out that there are a few assassins and they all work alone. They work at an off-book Black Ops program called Treadstone. Eamon, his kids, and Marie all bounce. Bourne gives them all his money. Then he uses the assassin's phone to call Nikki and is transferred to Conklin. He tells him Marie is dead and wants to come in and set up his surrender. He also tells Conklin, come alone. Why do you think Nikki's in the movie?
I don't understand. I mean, because of the star power situation, because it's the same girl from 10 Things I Hate About You. Maybe.
Did they need another female in the movie and then they did that? I don't understand why she's in the movie. She plays 0% important. She's not a bad person, but she is because she works for this Treadstone company that does bad things.
She's just there.
She's just there. Yeah, and then she doesn't kill anyone. She doesn't get killed. She doesn't provide any information. Conklin could have got all that information from anyone.
That's why I wrote that down. Why is Nikki here?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's sad that she had such a small part that there was no reason to have her.
Plus, majority of the information comes from that room with all of the associates in there.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you would think that Nikki is doing that and sending it to them, but no, they're the ones finding all that stuff out.
Yeah, they find it instantly on their computers.
Or put her in that room.
Yeah, there was 3 guys in there that were repeatedly. One of them looked like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I think he was Mark Zuckerberg. Maybe, I don't know.
Anyways, we didn't need Mark Zuckerberg. We could have had Nikki in there.
You could have Nikki there. It just is inconsequential. The day of his surrender, Bourne goes to a rooftop and sees that Conklin is not alone and calls and tells him it's off. Then he bugs their card and hears a conversation with Nikki and finds the location of their safe house. Bourne starts infiltrating the safe house. He gets past everyone and to Conklin. Bourne asks who he is and he's told that he's a weapon. Conklin tells him that he was supposed to kill Wombosi. Then Bourne remembers and he let Wombosi off the hook because he was surrounded by his kids when he came to kill him. As he fled, he was shot in the back twice, and he jumped into the sea. Or fell in, I can't remember. Bourne tells him he quits and bounces. Conklin comes out looking for him, and the German assassin kills him. So that one, the assassin was, controlled by Abbott. He wanted to tie all the loose ends. Why didn't they kill Nikki?
I don't even know where Nikki went after this scene.
Yeah, she wasn't there anymore, right? Or she went the other way? I don't know. She was in the room when they got into a fight.
Yeah.
She kind of helped fight, but she wasn't. Didn't make a difference. At the end, we see Abbott have a meeting with Congress. He mentions that the Treadstone program has been decommissioned. Then we see Bourne walk into a seaside restaurant owned by Marie. She sees him and they hug. The end. I don't know. I ended kind of cute. Like he ended up going to the girl. She was loyal to him even though she was crazy to be loyal to him. Who knows what happens with Nikki? Who knows what happens in the second movie? All right. Could this movie still be made today?
I think so.
Yeah. Did you have any issues with it?
Not that I remember.
No. How about any notes? Do you have any notes in there that you want to share?
No, I said them all.
All right. No other notes. Does it pass the Bechdel test?
No.
It does not pass the Bechdel test. Bechdel test is a test to check female representation in a movie. There are 3 criteria. Criteria number 1. Are there 2 or more named females?
Nikki and Marie.
Yeah, there's 2. That's it, right?
There's the landlord.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Paris landlord.
Yeah. She had a name, I think. And then Eamon had a little daughter. A son and a daughter. But I don't even know if she had a name. All right. Criteria number 2. Do they ever talk to each other?
No.
No, they never talk to each other. Kind of sad, right? Didn't really have much to do with it. And I guess you would say it would have failed if Nikki wasn't in the movie. So maybe that was the whole point. So that way it could pass one of the 3 criteria for the Bechdel test.
No, because why wouldn't they have Nikki and her talk to each other?
Yeah, like it'd be a thing like, hey, I know you're with him. Betray him. I mean, they would
They
at
would
least
be talking about a man.
Yeah, but at least they would pass criteria number 2. I don't know. I don't think people think about the Bechdel test when they're doing movies at all. This movie was obviously centered around Jason Bourne finding out who he is and Conklin going after him. I mean, that's kind of the whole premise. Anything else before we finish the podcast?
No.
Thank you for tuning in to Papi Approved Movies.
If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast app. Or like our podcast on YouTube. If you watched all the way till the end of today's episode, comment down below the rock climbing emoji.
We put out an episode every Monday.
If you want to see extra podcast content, follow our TikTok at Papi Approved Movies.
You want to suggest a movie for us to watch and critique?
Email us at papiapprovedmovies@gmail.com.
That's papiapprovedmovies@gmail.com. No spaces, no caps.
We'll try our best to get to your suggestion.
And remember, it has to be PG-13.
I'll be back in 2 weeks to watch She's All That.
I'm Papi.
I'm Natalie.
See you next time.
Bye!